Good morning and welcome to my channel, The Fruitcake Astrologer, where I will give you an astrologer's take on current events and people in the news. So right now, Twitter is taking a lot of heat for quote-unquote fact-checking the president's tweet. And the president is like, well, you've been suppressing conservative voices and we're going to take a look at this. So I was wondering what's going to happen to Twitter. If you are conservative, they really do ban you. About half my family's conservative, about half of them are liberal. And I mean, every conservative, if you believe, every conservative station has been either banned, outright banned, or demonetized. And now they're reducing the number of views on conservative videos, like saying, hey, nobody's looking at this one, move on. This is not getting much viewership, which, so the channel will have 500,000 subscribers and less than 4,000 views, which, of course, probably isn't true. So they're really monkeying with the data on conservative channels, and I would say doing pretty much everything they can to knock them out. So I'm wondering, I've heard complaints about this for a very long time. So I'm wondering if this was a tipping point, if, that a lot of these social media giants like Twitter and Facebook and Google and YouTube and all these have really kind of gotten away with a lot of stuff, in terms of our privacy and, and monetization. So for instance, Google is still taking all the ad revenue for those conservative channels. So if you're liberal, you get to keep but if you're conservative, you don't. So I've been, wondering when this was gonna come to the forefront. So I'm guessing this Twitter employee was the cog in the wheel that kicked it all off. So what's going on at Twitter? Okay, I brought the ninth to rise because I'm asking a question about a media company, and the media is the ninth house. And it shows that they're angry. Mars rises. They're really, really angry. Who are they angry at? Themselves, because Mars, the ruler of the first house, is in the 12th house of self-undoing. Someone told an untruth. Pisces is about deceit, especially in the 12th house. So they said something false that got them in trouble. And if you look at what they posted beneath Trump's, that there is no proof of voter fraud with mail-in ballots and harvesting, and that is, I don't know how many prosecutions there have been for that, but anyway, it turned out to be a falsehood. So they're in trouble for that. Now, it looks like you will notice that Capricorn rules the midheaven. So the boss is in the hot seat. He's having a hard time. Capricorn's about delay, hardship, problems. And of course, Saturn rules fear. So imagine how the management of Twitter is freaking out at the thought that the government's going to come in and start regulating them. Oh my goodness. You will notice that Saturn is conjunct Jupiter, conjunct Pluto, and look, they're all retrograde. This is causing big time problems for Twitter. Twitter's reversing. Expect them to do big reversals of whatever they've been doing. Expect them to reverse it. Okay, this is the management. Now, I think management was surprised by what this employee did. And of course, whoever the head of Twitter is doesn't know what every single employee he's doing, what they're doing. And the chart shows that whoever did this is going to end up fired because the moon's final aspect is an inconjunct to Mercury at 29 of Gemini. Gemini is the thinking, speaking, writing sign and rules the sixth house of employees. So yeah, and as is often the case, the big guys set, the policies, and the little guys are the fall guys. So it looks like management agrees with what the guy said, but he's going to get canned anyway. So bummer for that guy. It really looks like Twitter's revenue is going to take a major hit because Venus is retrograde, and that doesn't happen very often. That's only like 2% of the time does Venus ever retrograde, so it's kind of rare. And it rules their second house of money and self-esteem. So if it doesn't hit them financially, it's going to hit their status in the world. So it looks to me like ad revenue is going to be, and people are going to be pulling out and stuff. Many people are talking about how come there aren't alternatives to YouTube and Twitter and Facebook. Why haven't other companies popped up, that fix a lot of the issues in the current social media giants? Maybe this will be like an impetus for somebody to come out and take them on. So the moon's first aspect is a sextile to Venus. They're going to make nice. Venus in Gemini is very charming, very, nice, very. So I would expect them to come out and make nice, and say, we want to take that back, reversal, retrograde, right? Then the moon will go on to in conjunct Neptune, which in the 12th house, and I think that deceits, things that have been going on behind the scenes, deceitful things, illusion things, like, I don't know, but there's bots that go around and like post. I don't know if you've watched like comments under articles and stuff. There are like bots that go around and say stuff, and I think they may be saying we're going to get rid of bots. These fake Neptune, fake posts on Twitter. We're going to get rid of those. So I think that's a positive thing. And the next thing, the moon will also in conjunct the midheaven. I think there might be some shakeups of management. They might move around some of their, people in power. And then the moon's next over that clump of planets in the 10th house, Saturn, Jupiter, and Pluto, all retrograde. So I think they are going to do a bunch of reorganization. Reversals mean reworking, and they are going to change some of their ways. So this might be something positive. Maybe they needed a little, like, hey, try to be fair. When you ding somebody, I know there's things that need to be pulled down, but when you ding somebody, when you fact check, make sure they don't have some ridiculous political bent, so that they, have that set of glasses on where they see the world one way instead of listening to both sides of any argument and keeping open a fair discourse, which is, what the United States is all about, free speech, suppressing of one voice, I think diminishes the United States, right? Or vilifying one portion, half of the population. How good can that be? Anyway, so bottom line, they're angry, they're upset, this is going to end up, I think the guy who did that is going to end up being canned, poor guy, because the management above him is the one who came out with these policies, and he's going to be the one who gets to own it, of course. The big guys, make the decisions and the little guys fall too often. But it looks like it will cause some reworking from them. So that's it. If you enjoy these readings, I hope you will like, share, and subscribe. Thanks for listening.